very Keystone Cops, so stood him in good stead. My dear mommy was worried that everyone would be sitting around not talking to each other. seemed to have got on okay so far. No big speeches. I would like to let someone else say a few words here. We've got Brendon O'Hare, who is 90 or 91, Brendon?
91.
91. Brendon is the oldest of our generation, the oldest of our generation here. So, and there's about half a dozen people here who remember Edward Haughney, Ned Haughney, the Sweetie Man, whatever you want to call him. The only thing most of us know is that he started a family. He and his wife Marianne Malloy now have about 1,100 descendants from one couple, and he was married in 1877. So I'm afraid we're collectively responsible for global warming. So Brendon, would you like to say a few words?
It's usually the start, ladies and gentlemen, and that's impossible. Because it's just hello family. Hello. First of all, I must pay tribute to Brendon and Shelley for the enormous amount of work in producing this. Dedication, absolute. Congratulations. Thank you. And he talked about the Sweetie Man. I never heard of the Sweetie Man. My grandfather that I knew wasn't a Sweetie Man. The only thing he ever ate was peppermint sweets, which he used to feed to me, Jackie Haughney, and Danny McCaffrey on his excursions to the local pub, where he was fond of rum and peppermint. And we had to sit outside sucking peppermints. And since then, I've had an aversion to peppermints. I've never eaten them. So, this Sweetie Man, I don't know. I do remember my grandmother. And we used to go up, and I think it was in Bridges. To Mass. And grandfather would give me a penny or tuppence. But grandmother would always watch very carefully to make sure I put the 2 pennies in the pit. Because for 1 penny you could buy 5 woodbines. But I don't think he was a good churchman. He used to hump and romp through the sermon. And it seemed a long, long walk from Donnybrook Street. Yeah. It's a long, long walk. But the other times, it always, Danny McCaffrey and myself and Jackie Haughney always gathered together in Aunt Bridie's house during the summer holidays, and we'd nip up and see Grandpa, and he would use it as an excuse to go out for a little walk. And the little walk always took him up to Lisburn Road, and he was very fond of horses. And he would stop every horse and chat to it. And the horses seemed to know him, because none of them ever tried to bite him. He whispered in their ear. And whispering in their ear reminded me of something I told Brendon when I came in here first. Once they re-tarmacked the Lisburn Road, and a man was coming up Donnybrook Street with a donkey and cart. And when it got to the tarmac, no way would it step on it. It just refused, and they huffed and puffed. No way would it move. And Grandfather leaned over and spoke in its ear, and it leapt onto the tarmac and away like they didn't know. So they said, "What did you say to it?" He said, "Nothing. I spit a chew in its ear." I remember the Fitzpatrick family. I knew the Fitzpatricks because they always had such shiny shoes. They were wonderful for shiny shoes.
Still do.
And then I remember the Ruffins. We used to walk along Tate's Avenue, across the bog meadows, as we called them, up to Clondara Street. And my Aunt Smith used to send out immediately for a bottle of lemonade. And we used to sit on the stairs in Ruffins and drink lemonade and little, I think they were called sweetie gems. They were little hard sweets. I don't know if they still make them. Bitty gems. That's all I remember. They were lots of I remember May Murphy. May Murphy spent most of her time in Fitzpatrick's rather than with grandfather, because grandmother was very strict. She was small, but she was very, very strict and very quick. She used to go after grandfather because he had stuff on the end of his moustache. So, will you brush that moustache? And he was very much good at it. But May Murphy never got on with me. She was 16 or 17 when I was 12, of course. She was out of my class. When she went to Canada, I wasn't a bit sorry. One or two other things about that time is Danny McCaffrey, when Danny came down, I persuaded him that the statue of Queen Victoria outside Belfast City Hall was the Blessed Virgin. Every time he passed it, he used to bless us. He used to announce to everybody, "We're Catholic, tell this." The other thing about the McCaffreys were very rich. I know Madeline's here. They didn't like the films at the cinema, so they bought the cinema. And they had their own dressmaker. A French lady who came over and made dresses for them, so they McCaffreys. They were out of the O'Hare's tax. Anyway, it's glorious to see you all here. Now I know, since I'm the senior, I tell you, please enjoy yourselves. I tell you not to. And I did ask Brendon, would it not be possible to put all the names in a book with the email addresses and addresses, so that wherever you go in the world, you know you've got a friend. Thank you very much.
No more big speeches, just a couple of thank yous. I particularly want to say thank you for a new connection, which is actually a very old connection. Thank you for coming all this way to the Haugneys of Coon, Kilkenny, which is our ancestral home. Ned, who some knew as the Sweetie Man, and some knew as grandfather, and some knew as Constable Haughney, or some knew as his after us. Ned left Coon. His whole family were shoemakers, and they were reputed to be basically the best shoemakers in that part of Ireland, generation after generation. But all of his older brothers were shoemakers, and our Ned was sitting there staring out the window one day thinking, I don't really want to spend the rest of my life making shoes. They probably read some Victorian comic books about the Mounties, so he decided he'd rather gallop around Ireland as a Mountie thereafter. So hence he spent most of his time in Northern Ireland, both in Belfast and Ballymena, and that's where our tribe come from for this part of it. But our roots are definitely down in Kilkenny. So thank you for coming all this way, and we all hope that Kilkenny are doing okay in the match. Total dispensation to get back on the TV, then that's a hurling. So I'd also like to say thank you to people who've come even further. Bev and Dot have come all the way from Australia. Bev and Dot are descended from Ned Haughney's sister, who went to Australia in about 1880. But you can see that's my mommy sitting there as well. So there's quite a family resemblance through the years, I think. So thank you to the Brophies, the Fitzies, the Hanleys, the McCaffreys and the O'Hares. Particular thanks to Irene with a great posse from Scotland. I'm very proud to see you all here. Proud to have some of you. Thank you to Bridie, who's really held the family together. I think all the Fitzies know that Bridie is one person who's the glue behind a lot of Fitzies. So thank you. to call Ned Haughney their granddad, and one of them is Martha, my mother. It's also her birthday, and Bridie has. I hope not down neither your age nor Aunt Kathleen's age. There would be blood on the streets. Bridie has baked a wonderful cake for Mama, so happy birthday. Lastly, most of you have been to, we only usually get to see each other at weddings and funerals, and in the past we had the great Leo McCaffrey, who's a great singer, who enlivened many of them. I'm fortunate enough I went out and married my own, which wasn't Leo McCaffrey, but Shelley, and Shelley's a singer, a star in her own right, cabaret singer in America and London. And she's great to sing. First, just two songs. One song is partly for my own mama, but for every mama who is up on that board. Because if you think about it, if it wasn't for some amazing Haughney sisters, the Brophies, Martha for the Fitzpatrick, Mary for the Brophies, many others, no one would be here today. Out of 2,000 descendants of the first Haughney, there are 20 called Haughney. So that says something about the tough women who came into the family. So that's effectively a song for all mamas. And just thank you for coming. I don't know whether this thing will happen again, but make sure to talk to some of the people who you don't know as well as the ones you do know, because we're an amazing family. If there is something in common, it's a sense of humour, but also people who go out of their way to basically help, not just family, but people in general. So, remarkable family to be part of, and I'm very proud to be part of it with you. Thank you.
In 9 days, Brendon and I will celebrate our first wedding anniversary. So I'm a newer member of the family, and this is so beautiful and overwhelming to me. My entire family in the whole world is about 7 people, and they all owe each other money. So they don't talk. But I wanted to sing this song. It was a great favorite of my own mother's, and she and Martha were dear friends. And it's actually a birthday song for a mother, so it's very, very appropriate. And I sing this to my new mama. Okay. Hear it, if you can hit it, and if we can hear it. There goes nothing. Here we go.